Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name is Jim. Thank you for sailing along today on our pirate show. You can find us at babyboomertales.com, our YouTube channel. You can contact us at babyboomertales@gmail.com. And you can enjoy yourself on our Facebook page. I watched the new Disney Peter Pan and Wendy the other night. It was a little different, and what I mean by a little different, it was different than the old Walt Disney Peter Pan, different than the movie Hook with Robin Williams, which is, by the way, my favorite rendition of the Peter Pan story, but it got me to thinking about pirates. Our unusual fact of the week: grog was really a pirate drink. It consisted of rum, water, lemon juice, and sugar. Sounds like a rum punch to me. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson first was published in 1883. It was high adventure and buried treasure. We had Jim Hawkins, Long John Silver, Billy Bones, pieces of eight, 15 men on a dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum, grog, Captain Flint, and Ben Gunn. Our song of the week is Sailin, sung and written by Christopher Cross. It was released in 1980 and it became #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. It was one of the first digital recordings to make the Billboard Hot 100 charts. It also won Grammys for Record and Song of the Year. Well, it's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me. Some of the most famous pirates are Blackbeard, Captain Kidd, and Bonnie and Mary Read were a couple famous female pirates. Henry Morgan and Sir Francis Drake, which is considered a privateer, cousin to a pirate apparently. Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe and come back alive. Some famous fictional pirates: Captain Hook, he's always in all the Peter Pans. Davy Jones, Jack Sparrow of Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember him? I'll tell you what, Johnny Depp made a very good pirate. Except he was more funny than he was dangerous. At least in my book he seemed that way. None of these guys really remind me of the pirates on the movie Captain Phillips. Remember that movie? I think they were Somalian pirates. And in the modern era, there are still pirates, and a big percentage of them are from Somalia. So no more Captain Hook. In sports, we have the Seton Hall Pirates, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As I was looking this up, they classified the Minnesota Vikings, but I don't think Vikings were really pirates. They were conquerors and explorers, possibly a little pirate in them. The Oakland, Los Angeles, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry about that, but, Raiders. And the Pittsburgh Pirates. The history of the Pittsburgh Pirates goes something like this, the condensed version anyway, my condensed version. They started out as the Pittsburgh Alleghenies. In 1876, they were part of the National Baseball League, the National League, but their team lost players that year to a new league called the Players League. Well, the Players League lasted one season, so the next year, getting their players they lost back, they also stole a couple players from the Philadelphia A's of the American League. Well, the newspapers went crazy and started accusing them of piracy and all this stuff. and people started calling the Alleghenies the Pirates. Well, the name stuck, and today they still are the Pittsburgh Pirates. I have two friends in life that their favorite baseball team was the Pittsburgh Pirates. One of them I talk about every once in a while on this podcast. His name was Terry. Terry just passed away in the last couple of years. He was a childhood friend that some of the stuff we did together never will ever leave me. I talked about him teaching me how to be a catcher for my Little League baseball team. We played a lot of basketball, some football, all kinds of baseball, collected baseball cards and all that. The Pirates are his favorite team. And in 1960, when they beat my beloved Yankees, Terry celebrated and I was sad. My other friend is Greg. He was born and raised, I believe, in Pittsburgh, and the Pirates are very near and dear to his heart, even though he lives in the Kansas City area anymore. Greg is my Medicare guy. He's the one that handles all my Medicare needs. In his mind, I'm still a Yankees fan, and in my mind, he's always a Pirates fan. But I do believe we're both Royals fans in this day and age. Greg is a very nice guy. We met during one of the lowest points of my life, and he gave me a book and showed me compassion, and we have been friends ever since. Kind of like Danny Murtaugh. Danny Murtaugh was the manager of the Pirates back in the day when Terry and I would argue over who's the best baseball team there is. Well, the Pirates had some great players, and they even have some pretty good ones these days. Some of their wonderful players over the history of the team: Honus Wagner, Roberto Clemente, in my mind, will forever be the greatest Pittsburgh Pirate there ever was. Paul Waiter, Archie Vaughan, Willie Stargell, I believe they called him Pop. Bill Mazeroski hit the most famous home run in Pirates history. Dave Parker and Dick Groat, who just passed away in the last couple months. Now it's time for another version of Forky and Earl. One day Earl went over to Forky's house, went through the front door of the stone lodge and garage, walked up the stairs, hung a right, and immediately hung another right, and there was Forky's room. Walked into the room, and Forky was sitting there with an eye patch over his glasses, sucking on a fire stick. Earl said, "Forky, what are you doing?" And Forky said, "I'm being a pirate, Earl. I've got an eye patch on, and I'm eating one of these Jolly Roger fire sticks." Earl looked at Forky. Forky looked at Earl. Earl said, "Forky, I think the pirates always put the eye patch under their glasses." Forky said, "Oh, well, I knew it belonged there somewhere, Earl. Let me adjust that for a minute. There. I can't see as well now, Earl. It was easier when it was over my glasses instead of under them. I can only see with one eye now, Earl." Earl said, "I know, Forky. That's the way it's supposed to be." Forky said, "I bet Long John Silver wore his eye patch on top of his glasses, Earl." Earl said, "I don't think Long John Silver wore glasses, Forky." And Forky said, "Well, anyway, you want a fire stick? These Jolly Roger fire sticks are really good, Earl." Earl looked at Forky. Forky looked at Earl. Earl said, "Those are Jolly Rancher, Forky." Forky looked at his fire stick. Forky looked at the fire stick he was handing Earl. Forky read the fire stick cover, and it said Jolly Rancher. And Forky said, "Earl, why do pirates eat these if they're not Jolly Rogers?" Earl said, "Forky, I don't think Long John Silver knew what a Jolly Rancher fire stick was." And Forky said, "Today must not be my day, Earl. Maybe I shouldn't be a pirate." Earl said, "It's okay, Forky. If we could just have a pirate boat, we could fly a Jolly Roger as our flag." Forky said, "Sounds like a plan, Earl. You want to go to the lake?" Earl said, "That would be great, Forky. Who's going to take us up there?" Well, Forky looked at Earl, and Earl looked out the window, trying to find a ride to the lake. And Forky said, I know my mom won't, Earl. Will your mom take us to the lake? Earl said, I don't know, Forky. Why would we want to go there if she asks? And Forky said, so we can be a pirate and take over somebody's boat and make them walk the plank, Earl. Earl said, do boats have planks, Forky? Forky said, I don't know, Earl. We better take a board with us, just in case. So Forky and Earl thought about it for a long time as they sucked on their Jolly Rancher fire stick. And Earl said, Forky, even if we can't go up there to the lake, I sure like fire sticks. And Forky said, I do too, Earl. I like 'em better than I like this eye patch. Da da do 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 da da do 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 da 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 boo 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 ba 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 boo ba 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 ba. Hi there, Jerry. I didn't even see it coming. What are you building there, Homer? I'm building me a raft. I'm going to put all these 2x4s and 4x4s and 1x6s and pieces of kindling and pieces of firewood and all this stuff together. And then I'm going to take it down to the lake and I'm going to have a mast built. And I'm going to put a bed sheet on the mast. You know what a mast is, Jerry? It's this big old stick. I'm going to use a 2x4x8 for the mast. And then I'm going to put a black flag on top of the mast, on top of the sheet. And that's going to be my flag like a pirate. Homer, what are you talking about? Well, Jerry, you know I like to read sometimes if I can find a good book that talks to me. And I found one. It talked to me. And I know that you write books, but you know, this one is about pirates. And this guy named Long John Silver. And he's a pirate. And they're looking for buried treasure. And this boy named Jim Hawkins. And, well, I thought maybe if I went down to the lake with my raft that I'm building, I can pretend that I'm in the book. Well, that's great, Homer, but how are you going to get this raft down there? This is a pretty big thing you're building. I know, Jerry. I don't know. I know, but I don't know. Oh, well, if I got on the lake with my raft, well, I could be a pirate. And that's all there is to it, just like in that book, Treasure Island. Well, thank you for putting up with our pirate show today. I could have done more. I could have had a parrot sitting on my shoulder, I guess. I could have wore an eye patch like old Forky did. Have you ever worn one of those? I played a pirate game. It was a board game one time. And so I got this great idea. And I told everybody, stop, hold on, I've got to run a little errand. I ran down to the drugstore and bought an eye patch for everybody. I came back, and you know that was just plumb miserable, wearing an eye patch. I'm amazed people that only have one eye. I know a couple people that something happened in their life and they only have one eye, and they usually have a prosthetic eye, so they can only see out of one eye. And wearing an eye patch gave me just a small glimpse into their world. And it is not an easy thing. I admire people that can go through life with some kind of a situation and not complain. Start each day with a grateful heart and be kind. Always be kind. I'll be back next Wednesday. Peace out. Shiver me timbers. Ahoy, matey! Avast, ye landlubber! Heave ho! Heave ho! Arr!